Good afternoon, everybody. Happy hump day to you. This is your market update for Wednesday, July 26th, and we've had quite a volatile afternoon. Market initially opened this morning, both stocks and bonds, with all eyes on the Federal Reserve, the culmination of their July meeting, the statement that came out at 2 p.m. this afternoon, then, of course, the press conference with Fed Chairman Jerome Powell at 2:30. Initially, when the statement came out, the culmination of the meeting today, the market reaction was somewhat muted, and I really think that that's as a result of the market. Pretty much the statement was right in lines with what the market was expecting. I think there was a 98% probability per the market expectations that the Federal Reserve was going to increase the Fed funds rate by another 25 basis points, which is exactly what happened. And then, so we didn't have a whole lot of movement in the stock market, the bond market initially. Then Fed Chairman Powell started speaking at the press conference, and for a brief period of time, we had all three stock indexes, Dow, S&P 500, and NASDAQ, rally a good bit, but then they reversed course and sold off. Last I looked a few moments ago, I think the Dow was up 13 points. NASDAQ and S&P 500 are both down on the day. Initially this morning, mortgage-backed securities opened up 11 basis points, which was great, but continuing to trade in a very tight range, kind of hovering or hitting a strong level of resistance overhead, trying to break through that. On initially, again, the statement that came out from the Federal Reserve, mortgage-backed securities reaction was muted, but press conference happened. I think the market ultimately liked some of the things that they had heard about the Fed being data dependent moving forward. The possibility of a future pause again this year was not off the table. Last I looked a few moments ago, mortgage-backed securities were up 23 basis points. So again, hitting that strong overhead level of resistance. But, the Fed didn't take off the table a possible pause again this year. So I think the market ultimately liked that. It'll be interesting to see what the stock market does this afternoon. Of course, keeping in mind that if the Dow does in fact close positive again today, that will extend a winning streak to 13 days. I think that's the longest since February of 2017. So something to keep an eye on. Would be nice also to see mortgage-backed securities, what we've gained today, hold. And then we've got the PCE report, the Personal Consumer Expenditures Report, which is a key measure of inflation that the Federal Reserve looks at very strongly. That comes out on Friday, and we anticipate that's going to support that inflation continues to soften and get closer to where the Federal Reserve's target rate is. And that would be obviously beneficial moving forward for possible additional pauses in rate hikes for the remainder of the year. Other information that came out today, new home sales, which measures new contracts on existing homes in June, was down 2.5% when compared to May. And also May's figure was revised lower as well. Mortgage Bankers Association released its mortgage application data, and it did show for application activity last week, purchase volume was down by 2.5%. Refinances was down by 0.4%. Overall volume dropped by 1.8%, with purchase volume falling 23% year over year, and refinances, that application volume falling about 30% year over year. So tomorrow we have initial jobless claims as well as some additional data coming out. And then, of course, the big hitter is Friday, the PCE report. We'll continue to keep you updated. I hope that you have a great afternoon, and I will see you mañana.